For today's CyberCeo episode,
we have had more time to pay attention to our clients, to get more clients with our lead generation and things, and that's immensely helpful. We have also definitely had a bit more free time. We definitely have been able to ease our minds knowing that these things are getting done, even while we're taking care of other things. I have started 𝗙𝗪𝗏 on a campaign for our leads that come off of our website. Before, when I had to do that, it took me an hour and a half to put that together. Now it takes me 15 minutes to review what she's brought in, and it was immensely helpful to know that that was already done. I didn't have to worry about it. I didn't have to take care of it. It was already handled. So it saves me hours of work every week. She's generous with her time, with her energy, and she just has the biggest heart, and I love that about her.
welcome to CyberCeo, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. CyberCeo is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. It's our awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of CyberCeo. And of course, we have a very special guest on the show. Erin, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you very much for asking and for dropping by. I know you have a lot of things to do. Really appreciate you being on the show. Now, to start things off, to let you know, we have a lot of listeners who are business owners just like yourself. So I need your help. Can you introduce yourself to our audience? Maybe we can start with, what's your role in the business, Erin?
My name is Erin Life, and I am a realtor in Grand County, Colorado, which is a couple of hours outside of Denver, closest to Winter Park and the ski area there.
So how long have you been in the business, by the way?
Right around 2.5 years, believe it or not. I am part of a 2-person team, and my teammate, Stacy, and I kind of run the business together. And we're it, other than our cyberbacker. Okay. So we and my partner has been in real estate. Her name's Stacy. She's been in real estate for over 20 years, and so between the two of us, we have a lot of different skill sets that we bring to the business.
There we go. But tons of experience, obviously, right there. Now, how about working with someone virtual, just like with Cyberbacker? Is this your first time?
You know, it really is. I'm not unfamiliar with working with people online. Of course, we come from the Zoom era where virtual meetings have kind of become a standard, and a lot of us worked from home for a year or more during COVID and everything else. So that helped, I think, with the transition. And to be honest, and I have my permission from my teammate to say this, she took some convincing. It wasn't something that she came to easily. She is very independent, and honestly, even taking me on was a big step for her. And so bringing someone else into the business was a trick as far as trying to figure out how to incorporate that and really what we wanted that to look like. We interviewed a lot of people in person that were more local first before we decided on Cyberbacker.
What made you decide to try virtual leverage through Cyberbacker then?
Oh, well, so last fall when I told her, I said, listen, we got to have some help. We need somebody to give us a hand with this stuff, because there's a lot of things that we're doing, that we're working on, that we can get someone else to do so that we can spend more time on our lead gen, on the activities that actually build and grow our business. We are the number one team in our brokerage and have been for the last 3 years. We are in the top 5 consistently in the state of Colorado for Keller Williams. Wow. And so we're very busy. And I told her, I said, look, we need to get somebody else in here, because we do not have enough time to leverage. I've got 3 kids. I've got a life. She wants to be able to spend more time with her husband and her dogs. We want to travel. There's a lot of things in our personal lives we would like to add that we just don't have the time for if we're doing it ourselves. And so last fall, we went to the Colorado Regional Conference in Vail. And there was a Cyberbacker table there. And we'd heard about Cyberbacker before. A couple of agents here in our area use Cyberbacker, and they couldn't say enough good things about it. And so I said, okay, why don't we look at this? Because now that we've interviewed and we probably got 40 or 50 applications, we narrowed it down. We had more than a half dozen interviews, and nobody was really quite the right fit for what we were looking for. So when the opportunity came up, and after I'd done some research and I presented it to her, and I said, I think this is where we need to start looking. It took me a little bit, but I did finally convince her that this was a good way to start.
So basically then, what were you looking for? The help that you need, the leverage that you needed?
We needed help with, for instance, I do a lot of online posting and things, and I'm kind of the person that does the online advertising. I do the ads. I do all of those things. And while I am new to the business, I brought a huge sphere of clients to our business. My background is in technology and property management, at least part of it is. And so I came to the table with all of those things, not to mention the fact that I've been living here for almost 26 years. Wow. So I know a lot of locals. I worked in the school district. So all of those people that I brought to the table, they need me. I wasn't, while Stacy is our rainmaker, she has her sphere and I have mine, and they don't really overlap. And so I brought a lot of business in. So it wasn't like I was actually free to do those things. And so as I said, we're growing, we're getting so much bigger, and we can't grow anymore if we don't get someone to help me with this technology bit, to help us with advertising, to help us track our numbers, because we were terrible at the bookkeeping part of it when it came to knowing where our numbers were, where our most productive activities were. And so that's why we decided to go ahead and bring 𝗙elle on.
So about 𝗙elle then, how did 𝗙elle fit into that picture then? Numbers, online ads, things like that. What does she do then for the business as of the moment?
Right now, she is helping us stay accountable to ourselves and get us into our CRM and work that as much as she is able. Bless her heart, she's working with two very stubborn people. But she creates most of our postcards, most of our online advertising. She helps us with newsletters and puts those together and gets those mailed out. She does so many things. And I have to say, because I know this is probably a question you'll ask, but it was such a great relief not to have to train her on everything. Yes. Learning people's personalities, learning their styles, the things that they want their advertising and their business image to look like is hard enough without having to learn the basic skills that go behind that, because there's so many different systems that you use day to day. And so the fact that we could say, hey, we need you to learn this, and she could go and learn it with Cyberbacker. So it isn't just 𝗙elle, it's the whole teamwork of Cyberbacker that really helps us out a lot. It's a great asset to be able to have her go, okay, well, I'm going to go train on this. And then she comes back and goes, oh yeah, I know how to do that. Oh, good. Okay. So here's what we want it to look like. Let's do that.
So here in Cyberbacker, we're very, very big on that relationship piece. Again, if anyone needs help, any Cyberbacker, they got a whole team behind them as well to help out. Now, talk to me about 𝗙elle more. Before you got to work with her, you went through our hiring process, interviews through Zoom, communicating with our career backers. How did that experience go for you?
It's a bit of a process, but I understand why it has to be, because essentially, having gone through and attempted to hire someone and going through 50 odd applications or more, there has to be a certain amount of accountability on our part to go, this is really what we need. This is what we're looking for. And Cyberbacker is very streamlined in how they look for those traits in their people. And we had, we got applications from Cyberbacker. We narrowed it down to 3. We interviewed. It was a really tough call, to be honest. We had our last 3 that we interviewed were all 3 amazing candidates. And at the end of the day, it came down to, quite honestly, the answers that 𝗙elle gave to some of the questions that we had for her, because we needed someone that can think on their feet. We needed someone that could be technical, because she also manages our website and manages the backside of that with WordPress. And what was the question? I'm wondering if I can remember the question we asked her. We said, there were a few of them, but essentially, we said, how are you going to find these answers? where are you going to go to find these answers? And her answer was, I'm going to do my own research, bring you what I found, and find out what works best for you, in a nutshell. And that right there, she had me. So she didn't have me at hello, but she had me at the answer to her questions. Because again, it was a tough call between all of those applicants that we had. And so that was really kind of where she stood out. And she brings a warmth and a creativity that Stacy and I really appreciate to what she does.
Somewhat of a breath of fresh air, something like that.
Yeah, a different perspective, a different feel. And again, creativity and imagination when it comes to online marketing is everything. I mean, you got to stand out, and it's tough to do because everybody's out there. Yeah. And so in order to stand out, you really have to kind of do something that is just a little bit different, a little more special. And she helps us do that.
Now, basically, you've been working with 𝗙𝗹𝗻𝗶𝗹 for a while now, for a few months here, I believe. Now, what I'd like to know is, what has been the impact then of 𝗙𝗹𝗻𝗶𝗹 to your business so far? Because earlier we talked about you wanting more time to spend personally, even your partner. Now, what has been the impact of 𝗙𝗹𝗻𝗶𝗹 then so far?
We have had more time to pay attention to our clients, to get more clients with our lead generation and things, and that's immensely helpful. We have also definitely had a bit more free time. Right now, 𝗙𝗹𝗻𝗶𝗹 has been part-time with us. I have a feeling that at some point in the near future, we're going to have to take her full-time because there are some other things in our business that I would like to amp up and move forward a little bit more than, again, we still have time for. But we definitely have been able to ease our minds knowing that these things are getting done, even while we're taking care of other things, right? So, for instance, I have started 𝗙𝗹𝗻𝗶𝗹 on a campaign for our leads that come off of our website. And basically, we send out a newsletter every week with local events that are going on. Before, when I had to do that, it took me an hour and a half to put that together. Now it takes me 15 minutes to review what she's brought in, edit that a little bit, and then she sends it out. She adds the new people to the list. We have it, and it goes out. Especially this week, my son had knee surgery, and it was immensely helpful to know that that was already done. I didn't have to worry about it. I didn't have to take care of it. It was already handled. Plus, the bonus of that is then I take that content and it overlaps. I've got it on my social media. I've got it on my website.
Oh, yeah.
She can take those same things that she created and put them everywhere else too. So it saves me hours of work every week between the research and the publication and all of that.
Posting
and so
everything.
That's great. Yeah.
So basically, she gave you your time back then to, again, focus on the business, focus on your personal life, of course. Now, what I'd like to know is then a partnership between you and 𝗙𝗹𝗻𝗶𝗹, the business and 𝗙𝗹𝗻𝗶𝗹. How did you create a successful partnership with someone who's virtual, being it your first time to work with someone who's virtual?
The beginning was a little bit of a challenge, simply, again, learning each other, learning your styles, learning what she's best at. And being able to really focus in on where she needed a little bit more education, with what the tools she was using, or knowing what we wanted, because we needed to be very expressive about going, this looks good. Not a fan of this. Let's make this a little bit more streamlined. And getting those, knowing each other, learning each other was probably the biggest challenge in integrating her into our business. But now that we have her there, and now that she kind of knows what we want, that's extremely helpful. And I do try to take some time to, we live in a unique area. We've got a resort area, but at the same time, there's local business and things like that. So we're different than a lot of markets are. And I've tried really hard to kind of share with her some of the unique aspects of our community so that she understands what we're looking for, who our target audience is, because that's very important. Because what we do is for our clients. And so
of course,
she needs to know who those clients are and what we have to offer so that we can offer it in the right way.
Basically trying to make her understand then what the world is there so that she knows why she's doing it and what she is doing, basically.
Exactly.
There we go.
Exactly.
Now, one last question for you, Erin, while I have you. 𝗙𝗹𝗻𝗶𝗹's going to be listening, obviously, once we have this online. She's going to be listening and watching. So we'd like to know, what do you like most about 𝗙𝗹𝗻𝗶𝗹? And what's the first thing that comes to mind when we talk about her?
Her big heart. She has, she is willing, And bless her heart, the time difference between Colorado and the Philippines is pretty significant. And when we've had something coming up and it's been busy, I mean, there was one day where she went above and beyond for Stacy, and Stacy didn't even realize how long she'd had her working on some things. And she never complains. She never says anything. She just does it, and she does it with a smile and absolutely, of course, I'm there. I got it. And so she's generous with her time, with her energy, and she just has the biggest heart. And I love that about her.
Now, it seems to me you've already found your perfect cyberbacker in Lizelle. We're very, very excited to see, of course, the continued growth and success of this partnership all throughout the year. And again, Erin, thank you very much for dropping by today. I had fun talking to you.
Thanks. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of CyberCeo. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.